I'm so happy, 'cause today found my friends are in my head. I'm so ugly, that's okay, 'cause so are you. Book on me.
Tonight at the Moore Theater, you see a big-time network television star who also happens to be one of America's funniest and fastest-rising stand-up comedians. B.J. Novak plays Ryan Howard on NBC's Emmy Award-winning series The Office, and is also one of the show's writers and producers. You've also seen him in movies like Rain or Me and Knocked Up. He's done stand-up on Comedy Central, Conan, and tonight at the historic, which is another word for broken down, Moore Theater. B.J. Novak, welcome to Seattle, and welcome back to the Bob
That was
Rip
such
Show.
a classy introduction until you started ragging on the Moore Theater.
Well, it's okay.
But it was funny. Thank you.
It's actually cool, historic building. If you look up at Tonight in the Moore Theater, not everybody knows this, but you look way, way up to the second balcony section.
I will.
That's where the segregated people.
You can say African Americans.
Back then, that's not what they were. That's where there's a section where you have to go up a long staircase, and you're so far away, and that was the place where the non-whites used to go.
Is there a name for those seats?
Empty. That's what they call
Not
them.
after this show.
Not after this. I don't know. It depends on the draw. It depends on your draw.
Empty.
No,
Right.
When
We'll see.
our band played there, and they don't even sell that section.
Some
Because
people
it's the
refuse
colored
to sell it because it's a horrible. You can't even go to the bathroom up. Well, you can go to the bathroom
It's
up there,
like
but-
wooden benches and it's a creaky old stairway that goes up there.
It had a
I love
separate
this
entrance.
radio interview so far.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk
The
about
seats
you.
are terrible. You can't hear a thing.
Oh, no,
and
no, no.
No.
Tonight,
The rest of the
No.
theater is beautiful and historic. And
you
so-
have to walk up a long flight of stairs.
It's
You won't be able to hear anything. Tickets are on sale.
You
Well,
only walk
actually-
one flight of stairs all year.
I checked, and while you are selling very well, you can still get down into the balcony with decent seats for
Okay,
your show.
okay.
So
Great.
there are
you
some
don't
good
want
seats.
anybody. We actually had a moral dilemma. We were like, we needed the money, but we thought it would be rude to the audience to put anybody up there, and most of the time they don't. It's just a historical throwback of the building.
It's
Okay.
like 100 years old, and nothing in this town's 100 years old. I mean,
We talk about comedy.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, Casey.
I'm laughing. Yeah.
Casey loves you. She's such a huge fan.
Where's
Not.
Casey?
I'm over here. Not in
Oh.
a creepy way, though. I
Yeah.
mean, not.
I wish in a creepy
yeah.
way.
Hello.
Nice.
You know, it's only guys that have to say that.
Oh, really?
Not in a creepy way. No girl.
Yeah, I'm like, what would creep me out? Try me.
Watch. Okay.
Nope. Keep going. Push it further. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm not creeped out by this.
How about now?
Yeah. Nope. I'm good.
So, and I, by the way, feel like I'm a big fan. I was telling you during the break, because even though I haven't watched the show, I've bought 2 seasons of it because I know it's such a killer show that I have bought 2 seasons, and I'm like waiting to get fired.
Dude, that's
so
what
I
you
can-
do with like a Mark Twain book or Charles Dickens.
I know.
Like a classic that you're like, I know I should watch this. The Office is like, it's 22 minutes an episode. It's Steve Carell goofing around.
I know.
It's easy. It's easy.
But I'm going to get fired soon, and when I do, I'm just going to go home and watch it all day
Okay.
in my underwear.
Great.
It's
I'll
funny
catch
you
up.
make the Mark. It's funny you make the Mark Twain reference though, because that's kind of how I look at the way television is done now. It's because this is the medium we're teaching kids with. It used to be Mark Twain talking about the life and the world he lived in, and now you guys write The Office, and you do the same thing. You poke fun, you ridicule, you show people the world you live in.
Yeah. No, I don't.
No, not the world BJ lives in, the world they live
Oh, the
in.
world they live in. My mistake.
Yeah, he lives in a really good
This
world.
is you,
Twain
right?
just float down a river.
BJ was
Easy.
brought here in a town car today.
My mistake.
But it's funny. I was actually picturing you. You know, if you did get fired, or someone were to get fired and watch The Office, I wonder if they would be kind of nostalgic for when they worked in an office, or they'd be glad they don't anymore. Because it walks that line. It's realistic.
It is, yeah.
There is some fun, happy family element of, oh, it's the whole gang. And there is also that, oh, God, please kill me right now, you know?
Now, and I have seen an episode or 2, but I mean, it's one of those things where I really want to like sit down, like The Sopranos. My wife wouldn't let me have HBO. I'm one of those guys. And so I finally just got it. Now,
I like being compared to Mark Twain and The Sopranos within 30 seconds. That's
you, but wait.
Yep.
You
What's
in the
coming next?
You in the season.
Shakespeare, I think, is the most appropriate analogy. Mr. Novak, yes.
You in the season finale, I'm reading, are busted for making some phony sales reports to.
So much for sitting down and watching them all in a row, right?
Right. I know. But I'm worried because if does that mean you might get fired from? Can you get fired from a show about? I guess you can from a show about places where people get fired.
Trust me, I used to play the temp. That was like the most fireable role on television. Every episode I was wondering like, how long is this temp going to stay around, guys? So yes, I mean, Ryan will be back next year. I can tell that because I'm working on it. There's no surprise there. But how he'll come back, I think we're talking about that right now.
And you started as a temp, and then you made a meteoric rise. I did read that as well. You didn't know you were going to make that rise? That wasn't in the script. There's another question I had about these shows.
I mean, we have a writer's room, and I can throw out an idea like, hey, wouldn't it be funny if you got promoted to the boss? That will definitely...
made him the king.
That's right. You were one of the writers.
Yeah. I mean, that'll be heard. That's an idea. But, there's a lot of other people that have to sign off on that before you just can do that. So I was wondering, like, in general, what people were going to do with Ryan. And if I pissed off the network president or something.
Well,
like,
then that's
it's not like people would be like, you can't fire the temp. Like, of course you can fire the temp.
Of course you can. How far ahead is a series usually written? Like, when the series starts, we found out during the writer's strike, that was really annoying, by the way, and ruined a lot of great shows this season. But
Thank you.
We found out that they typically seem to have 4 or 5 episodes in the can. I was more interested in how far ahead do they even conceptualize what happens to the characters? Do they think about the whole season? Are there story arcs that go through the whole season?
We have it in mind, but something will go through the whole season sometimes. But beyond that, we will talk about it like what I said about Ryan. Wouldn't it be funny if he ended up being Michael's boss? Like, that's a great idea for the back of your head, but when you're actually writing week to week, often Dwight will improvise something on set about living on a farm. And then you're like, that's it. I get it. He's a farm guy. That makes total sense. Let's show his farm next week. And then before you know it, it's like a foreclosure episode, and or whatever. You take new directions is my point.
You wrote a bunch of episodes. It says you scripted them. One was called Diversity Day. We were talking about some people have had Diversity Day. It's kind of interesting. The other one, sexual harassment. Where did you draw from to like what you just did with Casey?
Yeah, I think Casey creeping me out. I think stuff like that.
Hey, how about
really...
now? What about this?
Still, I'm telling you, I don't know. You gotta. No, all good.
You are fast.
And I bet there's
no one at home is like, that's disgusting. Everyone's like, nice.
Everyone in the office has, everyone in your writing group has something to contribute. When you're scripting a show,
I'll say this
are you the boss?
You are the point man, I'd say. You can get notes, or you can get taken off, or you can get edited, but you are the point man. People are worrying about other things, and they're like, all right, BJ's in charge of that episode. Like, let him do his thing. And if it comes in all wrong or something, they'll step in. But
it's without a doubt my wife's favorite show, and she wanted me to ask you because there's also a British office, and sometimes she'll see your guys' episodes over there, or some of the British stuff. Do you guys share scripts, or how does that work? Because there's a guy like you, except he's speaking British on my TV every once in a while.
British is still English show.
Well, yeah, but it sounds a little different. I mean, there's an office in Britain, and there's an office here, and sometimes there's similar plots and stuff.
Totally different shows?
Totally different shows. At this point, totally different shows. The first episode we did was based on the British script. So that was like 50-60% the British script. But every episode since has been a whole new script.